Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Hi.
So it looks like we have our two applicants here, and we have 3 members. I do have the recording paused. And I think Jolene was just checking to make sure that, did everyone use the link that was sent out this morning to get into the meeting? No.
No, I did.
You did? Okay.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, I think we have some confusion. It looks like somebody is logged into a different meeting, which I don't think they can get into right now because we're doing this one.
So, Linda, do you think they're here? Because we're not going to have a quorum if they're not.
Well, you have 3 members.
Who's the third?
There's 3 of us on the screen right now.
Yeah.
Is Jack a member?
No.
Oh,
He's an applicant. So who's the third? I don't see another person.
Lisa's up there.
Yeah.
Lisa
yeah.
Kruger.
Lisa, myself, who else?
You're muted. We can't hear you. Sorry.
Okay, let me do that.
Oh, you're
Hi. Hi, Eric. Okay, good.
So
should we start?
let me just start the recording.
Recording in progress.
All right. So you are good to go, Gail.
Okay. All right. I'll call the meeting to order at 6:34 p.m. and we'll go through with the roll call. I'm Gail Bruin, Chair. Next.
Lisa Kruger.
Eric, you're muted.
I am Eric Spencer.
All right.
Okay. And then non-members also want to just state your names, please.
Sure. Hi, Jack Nardi, Stores Road.
Mitch Rosito representing the Grables, Renewal by Anderson.
Linda Painter, Director of Planning and Development. And
Okay.
Sandy is not at her desk right now, but she is our administrative assistant. And she is going to remove this meeting as being recorded box that will be in the middle of the live stream unless she goes and clicks it off.
Okay. So our first item is approval of the minutes from our April 28th, 2021 regular meeting. Seems like a long time ago. If you've looked at those and what someone would like to make a motion to approve.
Make a motion that we approve the minutes from, was that April 2021?
Yeah. April 28th, 2021. Yep. And we have a second.
Second.
Okay. Any discussion? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, thanks. Now we move to our public hearings, correct, Linda?
Correct.
Okay, so our first would relate to the windows being potentially being replaced in the Mansfield Hollow Historic District. So I can turn that over.
I'm going to start just before we turn it over to the applicant by reading the legal notice for you.
Okay.
For the record, the Historic District Commission will hold the following public hearing on 2/23/22 via web-based virtual meeting to hear comments regarding the following application. It's 6:30 p.m. Application for a certificate of appropriateness to authorize replace of 4 double hung windows on property located 97 Mansfield Hollow Road, Assessor's Parcel ID 29.112.27, HGC file number H0056. Information on how to participate in the public hearing will be on the meeting agenda, which will be posted at http://www.mansfieldct.gov/agenda center no less than 24 hours before the meeting. No information from the public shall be received after the close of the public hearing. Additional information regarding this application is available by emailing planzone.dept@mansfieldct.org. Gail Brune, Chair, and this legal notice does state that the hearing would be held on February 23rd, 2022. The commission, due to a streaming issue, did continue or reschedule the hearing to this evening. So while it does note that it would be held on the 23rd, it was continued to this evening. So that is the legal notice. And with that, I will turn it over to Mitch Rosito with Renewal by Anderson, who is representing the property owner this evening of 97 Mansfield Hollow Road. And Mitch, if you'd like to share anything, you should be able to, or if you'd like me to share something, let me know.
Okay. Yeah. No. So thank you very much, Linda. So for this project for the Grables at 97 Mansfield Hollow Road, we're looking to do 4 double hung insert windows, replacement style windows into the home. So all exterior trim, which is nice about the replacements, will remain intact. So we won't be removing anything. We won't be cutting back any siding. We'll just be inserting a unit directly into the existing pocket. I don't know if you're familiar with Renewal by Anderson. So our product is actually a Fibrex material. So it's 40% wood fiber and 60% thermoplastic or thermopolymer. So it's actually designed and engineered to look like a traditional wood window. I had sent over some documents about the mortise and tenon joinery, the wood putty glaze look to the unit, so basically it's a maintenance-free wood-looking window. We've done work in, Wethersfield, Haddam, Mystic, South End of Hartford. We're pretty much the go-to for historics for people that don't want a wood window for the maintenance purposes. So it will look very historical in its aesthetic. The trim that we do apply actually goes on after we insert the unit into the existing pocket. We have a very small piece of the Fibrex that's called an L trim work. So it pops into an accessory groove that's on the outside of the window, just bridges the gap between our window and the existing trim. So it's very small. It's about 1 inch to 1.5 inches. It's very clean. So it looks exactly like a new construction window, despite being a replacement. So it's not going to be unsightly or anything additive to the window. So that's usually one of the biggest concerns with historics is obviously trim. So that's not going to be touched. The other big piece is the grills. So I know that's always another big question point that historic boards have. So we have our full divided light, which historicals would actually consider simulated divided light, but we call it full divided light. It is an exterior protruding colonial style grill that's made out of Fibrex. There's an interior wood grill for the customer that's actually painted the white color of our window. And then the spacer bar is made out of aluminum. So there is a full spacer bar in between the 2 sets of interior and exterior grills. So basically, if you look at the window from an angle, it's going to look like each of those 6 individual lights per sash are its own separate light. So it's not going to have any appearance of being a grill between the glass or being a faux grill, if you will. It's actually going to look very historical in nature. And that's basically the reason it's still considered by some historic simulated divided light is because it is still one pane of glass. We don't have 6 individual panes of glass. It is one pane per sash, but it will mimic a true divided light in aesthetic.
Have you replaced any other windows in Mansfield Hollow?
My house has replacement windows exactly like these
Okay.
Yep.
that were put
That
on
wasn't-
probably
but-
right that were put on probably 8-9 years ago. And if you haven't noticed, that's an awesome thing. Yes, I do have replacement windows on my house.
Okay. Yeah.
The same company, the same exact window. And
Yeah,
they're
we're
amazing. They're amazing.
Thank you so much.
So I was a little curious about the trim that you talked about, 1 and 1.5 inches wide. So
Sure.
that you're losing, in essence, 3 inches horizontally and vertically on the window from the original window. Is that correct?
So
it's really a smaller window.
when you do replacement windows, one of the I wouldn't want to call it a fallback necessarily, but one of the considerations is what's called glass loss. So the insert application means you're putting a frame inside of a frame. The other way to do windows obviously would be the new construction, which wouldn't really make any sense with an older home because then you're ripping off all that exterior trim, dealing with interior plaster work, dealing with balloon framed houses. So, I mean, it really isn't even conducive to consider a new construction unit. So I think for anybody really, it's so worth it to do the inserts because as long as you're like in the Grable's case, they're doing those 2 windows on the front and then they're doing the 2 on the side. So you wouldn't even see a different scale. I mean, there is a little bit of glass loss, I will agree. But I don't think you would notice much of a difference.
No, you can't tell the difference at all.
Eric, did you have any questions? You're probably familiar with.
No, I guess the exterior fabrics, is that painted or stained to match the existing house color?
So
Trim color?
all the Fibrex is actually an extruded capstock called Permashield. So after that composite is actually extruded, it's re-extruded with whatever exterior color is to be on the outside of the window. So the white L trim will be the exact same color as our white window on the outside. And that's actually designed as like a matted white. We all know with whites, there's like 800 different whites. So it's really hard to get anything matched up perfectly. But it is an off-white, it's not a sheeny vinyl-y white, that's going to make anything look plastic. So what I can tell you, Eric, is that it will be, or I'm sorry if I'm saying your name, it's
No,
Eric,
right,
right?
Eric.
Okay, Eric, yeah. It will match the window. It won't match the house exactly, but it is paintable. If the Grables wanted to paint that trim, that would absolutely be fine.
So it'll match up to, I don't have the images in front of me, windows that are on the same side of the house that aren't being.
Yeah, here, let me, do you mind if I share my screen here?
That's fine.
Okay, I can show you some pictures here of some L trim work that we've done. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, look through here. I'm trying to find one that's similar to the applications that we're looking at here. So this actually has a green L trim on it. So you can actually see where the window frame ends. There's that sleek little piece of green that actually goes around. This was a green colored house, so we did a forest green L trim on this, but it's very, very sleek. It's almost hard to spot actually if you don't know what to look for with it, because it's designed to not be unsightly. It's hard to even show you in photos. Like it's actually applied to this window. Yeah. Right when you look past the sash, not the piece of trim going right to the siding, but that little piece in between there that kind of has that mortise and tenon look to it.
Yeah.
That's actually the L trim, Eric.
Okay.
So it's really, really sleek and slim. Does that illustrate better? I'm sorry to not have better photos, but
fine. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Does it come with screens then?
Yes, it does. Yeah. So there will be
showed
full
us?
screens on the exterior of these units.
Okay. And they just pop in?
Yes, they're removable, so they can be removed. Yep.
Okay.
And they sit flush against the window. There's no, like with the vinyl windows, you have those screen tracks that actually protrude a little bit, and they look kind of like an afterthought almost.
Yeah.
We don't have. Sorry, my niece is here in the background. We don't have the protruding screens. They sit actually flush right inside of a groove. So they look really nice as well.
Okay.
Any other questions or issues? Okay, so now, Linda, what do we do now? You're muted.
You're going to close this hearing and then let me double check. I think we're good for the next hearing time.
Okay.
And then once you finish both hearings, you can go back and you'll discuss and vote.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So the next public hearing is an application for a certificate of appropriateness to authorize replacement of a portion of the roof with metal on property located at 564 Stores Road, Mansfield Center. John Nardi, applicant owner, HTC file H0008. And the legal notice, the Mansfield Historic District Commission will hold the following public hearing on February 23rd, 2022 via a web-based virtual meeting to hear comments regarding the following application at 6:35 p.m. Application for a certificate of appropriateness to authorize replacement of a portion of the roof with metal on property located at 564 Stores Road, assessor's parcel ID 29.115.9, HTC file number H0008. Information on how to participate in the public hearing will be on the meeting agenda, which we posted at http://www.mansfieldct.gov/agenda center no less than 24 hours before the meeting. No information from the public shall be received after the close of the public hearing. Additional information regarding this application is available by emailing planzone DEPT@mansfieldct.org. Gail Brune, Chair, 2/17/22 is the publication date for this legal ad. And I will note for the minutes, Sandy, if you could add the publication date of the other legal notice. We did do these separately. And I believe this one was advertised in the current and the previous legal notice was advertised in the Chronicle.
So just a little point of order. We need to close the public hearing at 6:48.
Oh, thank you, Jolene.
Yeah.
It's been a while. And
Yes,
we're
it has.
opening this one at 6:50.
Okay.
And the property owner is here to explain. And I will note that I think there's a little bit more in terms of the metal roof is only on a portion. And then the other is actually asphalt shingle. So I'll let him describe what he's doing. And Jack, if you want me to throw any pictures up on the screen, let me know.
Yeah, the part of the roof we're talking about that would be metal is the kitchen L. And there's a small canopy which would remain asphalt shingles, and also as part of the job, the detached shed has asphalt shingles and will be replaced with asphalt. So I'm looking to put the metal roof on the kitchen L because it seems to be very prone to ice damming in the winter. I have heating wires on it now, but I still end up having to rake the roof on serious snowstorms. So I'd like to try to get away from that.
Yep.
And the only one that can see that roof is me. And I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah, I sent along some pictures from looking from Route 195.
Yeah.
It's difficult to, of course, in the summertime, it's even more obscured, but it's pretty far back there behind the house. It'll be matching the existing color of the roof as close as possible in the metal, be a gray steel roof, standing seam.
Okay.
I did note under scope of work number 3, you're going to remove the Eve Fascia from both sides and install PVC. Is that true?
Yeah, right now the aluminum gutters on that roof are hanging on straps that nail into the roof surface itself and hang over. And I thought it would be a cleaner look to just mount them rather than strap mount them. And then there's fewer obstructions from coming down the roof. And as Dan McClintock also noticed, that the gutters that are on here are not really installed properly to begin with. So it was a good idea to redo them, and it saves them the work of having to try to install the metal roof and retain the strapping. So I think it'll be a better look in the final analysis.
Mhm. So is your intention eventually to do the whole house or just to leave this?
No, I don't seem to have any problems with the main roof.
No.
It's just this roof gets a pretty decent morning southern sun in the winter. And then as the day progresses, the sun is blocked out by the main house and shadows that roof. And that's when the ice damming occurs. And so one side of the roof, of the faces south, and the other side is completely north. And I've had a little ice damming on that side, but again, I've had the heating wires on there to try to prevent that problem. If I roof rake it, it's not an issue, but I've been roof raking it now for 20 something years. I thought once I hit 70, maybe I could pay the extra money and put a metal roof on and not have to roof rake anymore.
Sounds good. I don't really have any questions. I think it looks quite nice. Anybody else?
No, now it connects to the main part of the house.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So is there different kind of flashing that goes in because it's a metal roof as opposed to?
It didn't seem to sound like that when I talked to Dan. I asked him, is that situation the way the clapboards actually come down very close to the shingle roof, and they're step flashed, and I said, is that typical detail for these houses? And he said, yeah, sometimes the siding even touches the roof surfaces. So, yeah. Okay. So I have a little bit of a gap there, maybe an inch or an inch and a half, but it's basically going to remain the same as far as I understand.
Okay. So will you have to put new trim on that or is it the siding?
It's just clapboards, and the steps flashing are under the clapboards. And the reason I spoke to him about that is, on these post and beam houses, there's no substructure under there. If you take off the clapboards, you're seeing studs. So there's no other material underneath there to really flash to. So I'm not quite sure how they did it to begin with, but he seemed to be the right person to do this kind of work.
Okay. That's it for me.
Yeah. Anything else? I was surprised he was listed, McClintock, as an architect designer, because I think of him as a contractor.
Well, I don't have an architect, assigned for doing the roof. I had Dan price the roof as metal roof and as asphalt shingle roof. So he priced it both ways for me, and I'd like to go to the metal roof, which is what I'm talking to you.
Okay.
Okay.
So now, do we close this one?
Everybody's
Yep,
muted.
so you can close this one at 6:56.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And now we go back to our regular meeting.
Yeah.
We haven't done this in a long time.
Yeah.
No, and these are listed under new business.
Okay.
Because your old business is really not related to these two items, you may want to opt to do the new business items first,
Sure.
and then move to the old business.
Okay. All right. We'll do the new business items first.
New business A was the application for a certificate of appropriateness for the replacement of the windows at 97 Mansfield Hollow Road.
Yeah. Okay. Do we have any further discussion on that? Are we all set with that one?
I'm all set.
So,
Motion and a second to approve the certificate of appropriateness for the application as presented, if you're good with that.
okay. All right.
And if you'd like, you can just say so moved, and we will clean up the language after the fact.
Okay. So the motion is on the floor. We need a second, correct?
Somebody needs to move it. I can't move it. I'm just saying the motion.
All right, we need somebody to move this motion.
Appropriateness
I will
For
move,
the application for 97 Mansfield Hollow Road as presented by the
Okay.
applicant.
I so move.
Second.
Okay, further discussion? Then all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so we have that one completed.
Linda,
So-
can I just ask a question quick?
Mhm.
Will you email the official approval to myself and Kim once that's actually documented?
Yep, we'll prepare a letter of approval for Gail's signature, and we'll get that out to you so that you have it, because you will need it to get your building permit.
Okay, yes. And thank you to the board. I am going to step off now that my item is taken care of. Thank you guys so much. We look forward to doing the project and appreciate you being so nice and easy to work with.
Okay.
Thank you for
Thank you.
coming.
Take care.
All right, and so the next is the application for a certificate of appropriateness for the roof replacement at 564 Storrs Road for Mr. Nardi. And same with the previous application. If the commission is in favor of this, then a motion to approve the certificate of appropriateness for the application as proposed by the applicant would be in order, and we will clean up the language for you in the minutes if you would like, but you can just say so moved if you would like, and seconded.
I so move.
Second? Somebody second? I don't think.
Oh, second? Yes,
Okay.
I second.
Further discussion? So all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you. And Mr. Nardi, you will get a letter from us as well that you will need for your building permit for the roof replacement.
Okay, great, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Have a good evening.
Okay. Now we go back to old business.
Mhm.
Mansfield Historical Society grant. I believe I was going to prepare something in support of that. My thought process was I went through everything that the town council has, and they have all the information on the historic importance of it and the district and what have you. From my perspective, I was interested in how historic buildings are used in other towns as an important, source of history for the town. It sort of helps the town, draw people, etc. But I really haven't gotten very far on that. So, and last I talked to Anne, it was all up in the air. There was going to be another, I don't know, they needed another architectural something or another, which was going to require more funding. She didn't know where that was going to come from. So I don't know what the status is right now.
I don't know either. I mean, I think that we've been carrying this since last April, and I think the genesis of this was the council action on the stormwater improvements that the commission approved, and it was a subject of a grant application. And as I recall, I think the council's action was to authorize the submission of the application, but not to basically say that before any town money could be put into that, it would need to come back to them for approval. And I think that was where the commission wanted to kind of weigh in and provide some support, because I know from the council, I believe the council discussion, again, this is, almost a year ago now, a lot of the concern was around, the amount of money that it might take to fully restore and repair this building, and trying to determine at what point, they want to keep going with that. So I think, as the commission, your goal was to advocate and to identify the importance of the building. So I don't know if there's anything imminent at this point. I don't need to know what happened with the grant application itself. If the grant was awarded, or if with everything during the pandemic, everything's been delayed and put on hold.
I mean, I could check with Anne and see if there's any update, and let the commission know at our next meeting.
All right. All right. So
Do we have
the
anything
next
else?
meeting that you have is scheduled for later this month. I want to thank you again for being open to this meeting. So, we will continue to check with the chair. In this case, we don't have any other business that I'm aware of in terms of actual certificate of appropriateness needs. I think we handled both of those applications tonight. But if this is something, if you want to talk about this, you have a regularly scheduled meeting. So we'll confer with the chair about whether or not we need to hold that meeting and go.
I actually I'm going to be away at the time of that meeting.
Okay.
Mhm.
So in all likelihood, the March meeting will be canceled and we'll look at April.
Okay. One question, Gail. I know at the old Barrows and Burnham building, they put a new roof on. Did that have to go through us at all, or they? I don't.
They notified me at least, and it
Right.
was the same materials.
Okay, that's right.
And so we did not need to do a certificate of appropriateness. And it seemed a good thing that they were getting that roof.
Yes, my gosh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Maybe have saved the building.
yeah,
There
hopefully.
was in serious need of a roof.
Yeah.
that's
So,
good. Okay, I was just wondering.
yeah, no, a couple other things came to my attention, but we can.
Yeah, we have
Over
to,
that another time.
because it's a special meeting and it wasn't on the agenda, we have to kind of hold those for now, but
All right.
you may get some email communications from us. So, because I know that Gail had seen a communication, but we did not happen to have a copy of it. So once we get it, we'll circulate it to everyone.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, good.
Thank you all very much
Thank
and
you
have a
all.
good night.
Thank you.
Night.
Hope to see you in person someday.
Yes. Oh, and
Yeah,
you're
for
adjourned at
sure.
7:04.
Okay, everybody.